first, thank you for doing the Black Research Questionnaire. Tell us your name.
Okay, where do you want me to look?
Look at me.
Okay.
Mm.
My name is Monique.
Mm.
Do you just want my government? You want my Instagram? What do you?
You give us Instagram, give us handles.
Okay, the handle is I go by Mo. I underscore go underscore by MO. You'll find me. It's
Okay.
there.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we're going to
Absolutely.
start with number one.
Okay.
What is your personal definition of a safe space?
My personal definition of a safe space is, to speak candidly, it's my home. And that's because I feel like in my home, that's a place I can disrobe physically, but also emotionally and spiritually, in a place that's protected,
Mm-hmm.
um, private, and whatever I want it to be. So if I want it to be a carnival, it can be. If I want it to be a sauna, I can have that. If I want it to be a prayer room, I can have that. Um, Now, I do believe I can enjoy safe spaces outside of my home, but I think my home is my safe space. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Next question. How do you create safe space for yourself? Which you kind of answered
Which I
that.
can't answer, but I'm
Yeah.
happy to dive into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, how do I do that? Depends on
Or
the day.
curate. I use the word curate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how I like to curate safe space for myself is to check in
Mm-hmm.
with me, myself, to see how I'm feeling that day and as to what I am needing. So if it's quiet, maybe I light a candle, I turn the lights off, run a bath. Um, Sometimes it's just I want to like lighten my mood, so maybe I'll just put on some incense or open a window so I can let the energy move through. Sometimes it's honestly just sitting still and doing nothing and feeling. Um, so to curate it really is really checking in with myself and saying what that need is. Sometimes just turn on Ja Rule and
That's a move too.
figuring it out, figuring it out. It really just my curation depends on my mood, and we go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the third question is, how do you curate spaces for your peoples?
Oh, that's important. Ooh, that's a good question. I think that also depends on the mood I want to make, right? So based off of what the goal is for the event or the mood of the group. Um, if it's like my good girlfriends and we haven't seen each other, we want to make sure it's warm. I think that's my goal every time, regardless of what the mood is. Is it warm? Is it inviting? Do you have the nourishments for people to feel welcome? So that for me is what lighting, snacks, music. Period.
Okay.
Those are the primary things. Like, what are the things people would need to feel most relaxed? And I like to do the foundation, and then from there we build.
Mm,
Yeah,
very ritual. I like that.
yeah.
Number four,
Snacks are important.
very important. Okay. Describe an unsafe space. What do these spaces typically have in common?
Ooh, ooh. Okay. Ooh, okay. Describe an unsafe space. That varies, but I would say that the commonality in an unsafe space would be mm, this. Okay, the freedom to how do I put that in a way that makes sense? I want to say when I hear more critique than inquiry, I automatically don't feel safe. So right, we're joking or something, and instead of someone saying, "Oh, well, why you say that? Why do you think that?" It's like, "Oh, I don't like that," or "Who you think you are saying that?" Like anytime it's there's a halt in the way I can let things out,
Mm-hmm.
it no longer is safe. And not because I have to feel like I'm right or that I'm wrong, but just because it doesn't allow the space for it to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that is the primary factor of a safe space, to be able to be myself, uncandid, unabridged, not disrespectful,
Mhm.
but free. And as soon as there's judgment put in the mix, you have just alarmed me to go back in my shell and not speak. So yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
What was the second part of that question?
You answer it's
Okay,
what do these spaces typically have in common?
that
Hmm.
where there's more judgment than there is inquiry.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you for that. We are where we at?
we're
Okay,
at.
number five.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wear a mask outside of familiar circles? Why not?
That's
And
tricky.
what kind?
No one's ever asked me that. No one's ever asked me that. I think yes, but I think we all do, right? And I don't, and not to say I do it maliciously. I think it's a protector. I like to think that I'm always genuine. I'm always sincere. It's always going to be um, me,
Hmm.
right? It's just a varied version of that. So why or why not? Because I want to make sure I'm safe with you, right? And not to say I got to give you my life story,
Mm,
but mm, do I feel safe with you? Um, and here's the thing: I think what I've been working on, which is interesting, is that finding security in myself. I'm not necessarily looking for the reassurance of other people to make me feel safe, as much as it's do I want to give my energy away to someone who takes more enjoyment in judging and trying to find under the mask as opposed to allowing me to slip off what and when and how I choose to in our interaction. So I think that's somewhere, I don't know, some type of energy exchange that happens naturally when people are themselves and I am myself, again, as always. But seeing where that fun space, that wiggle room is, that gray area where natural interaction happens. And it's a fluidity. Um, yeah, because I don't want you to take nothing off that you don't want to take off, right? Like, why would I want you to take your jacket off if you still cold?
right.
So let me take my hat off first, and then I'll take my jacket off. And maybe I don't ever get to the jacket.
Right.
And maybe that's just what that interaction needed, though. So, um, yeah, I don't think I asked what kind of mask, though. Okay, what kind of mask am I wearing? I don't know, child. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what kind of mask. No one's ever asked me that. Is there a specific answer you're looking for, like an
Mm-mm.
adjective?
I'm not.
Silly mask, a fun mask, an angry mask. It depends on where you catch me. If you catch me on the train, you might get an angry mask. Okay. If you catch me at work, it might be a little more official or uh, regimented, right? If it's out at a park, it may be way more laxed and cordial and friendly. It just depends, right? And I think maybe that just has to do with living in the world that we live in and being mindful of the spaces that we're in, right? I can't be la 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 la, and I gotta keep my head on swivel on the train,
Hmm.
right? So I think it's just for me, it depends on my environment, the feel of the environment, and how safe I feel in that environment as to what mask you get from me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that.
those are good questions.
So number six, how would you be empowered if you can be authentically you 24/7, 365?
It's a powerful thing to know who you are in general.
Hmm.
It's powerful to know that no matter where I am, no matter what I am doing, and no matter who I am with, I am sovereignly myself. And no one has the authority to make me or break me or dispel or discharge how I'm already feeling within myself. So if I felt empowered to be that all the time, I mean, honey, it'd be like walking on a cloud. It would be like do all the time, right? Because who gonna check me?
Okay, can you feel a brand new day? Whiz.
It's a brand new time. And again, no matter what I'm doing, whether I enter into this space, whether I cross this threshold into another building, who's going to check me? And again, not in a way where I want to overpower anyone else with my power, but simply because I'm sovereign in the fact that you have no authority over me.
Hmm.
How would that make me feel? That would make me feel safe. That would make me feel less worried, right? If I'm safe, I don't have to think so much. I don't have to concern myself. I don't have to fear. And a life without fear is freedom. And I think that's what I want. That's really what I'm doing all this for, is to feel free. So yeah, I would feel free.
Yes. Okay. So, number 7.
Okay.
How are you reminded of your royalty in hostile environments? How do you stay grounded?
Wow. How am I reminded of my royalty in hostile environments? I was having a conversation similar to this the other day, which was, I like to believe I'm a good, worthy communicator, right? And I can sit with myself enough to express my needs without having to overpower, right? Yell if I don't want to. Um, but I have found superior royal power in silence and not needing to explain myself and not wanting to, and honestly not caring about how you perceive that which I have not explained. Um, so I'm reminded of my royalty by reclaiming the fact that I don't have to do anything. And what I choose to do is because I, again, in my sovereign mind and spirit, have decided to, right? So if I choose to express myself to you, if I choose to really let you into what I am feeling, it's already understood it's a privilege because I don't have to talk to you. So let's start there. So, right, so that's already an understanding of how I'm expecting you to respond. And not because I need you to respond a certain way, but, right, a certain awareness, a certain attentiveness, right? Or if I'm asking questions, there's also inquiry in return. And I think that just has to do with reciprocation, right? That's what it reminds me of. And when I don't feel like that's being reciprocated, I don't give it anything. I'm reminded, like, oh, they don't see me as worthy enough to do those things that I feel like I need. So I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to remain in silence. Yeah. So that's how I handle hostile environments. I don't give it much until I see how certain people operate around me. And remaining grounded is literally, sometimes it's a physical thing, like in this very moment right now. I'm seeing, like, I'm leaning forward, I'm engaged. But sometimes when I'm, especially in social environments and hostile environments, it's really like physically reminding myself to sit back, right? Feeling my back against the chair or wherever I am, my feet on the floor, taking a breath, hearing the room around me, and literally slowing myself down. Because royalty is not rushing, royalty is on my time, and the world responds to me, not the other way around. So, yeah, that's how I stay grounded.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so
Give me those
number 8.
snaps. Give
Okay.
me those snaps.
10s across the board. So, where do you normally seek refuge? It can be a location
That's
or
a great
experience.
question. I'm a woodsy kind of girl. I love nature, so I'm not gonna tell you my spots, but you, but you will often find me in anywhere there's woods, right? Anywhere there's a canopy of trees, anywhere there's grass, hills, and open access to the sun. It's only plus 20 points if there's a lake or a river or some type of water near it, but anywhere I can sit in nature, outside. Sometimes it's on my patio. Sometimes it's just sitting outside in the sun. I walked on Georgia State campus the other day, child, and it was raining for 2 days, and it was the first day in like 3 days. It was sun out. I literally just sat in the middle of the campus, sun gazing, um, and that was refuge.
Number 9. What was your favorite activity during recess and why?
I have two. Favorite activity, talking freely, or maybe that's three. The running, right? So I can run to go talk. I can hop things to go talk. I can yell. I can be heard.
Mm, confirmation.
Confirmation. um, and if we were talking about an actual, like, what's my favorite thing to do in recess was always the swings. So I guess, right, I can be heard and I can go to new levels, new heights.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my answer.
Yes. All right. So the last one.
Okay.
Okay. This one always gets the girlies. Okay. What is the truth you want to share with your inner child?
What is a truth in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Because, honey, me and my inner child be talking. Ooh, I didn't even say anything yet, and I feel like things coming up. A truth I want to share with my inner child right now is that I've worked I I've worked so hard to create safe spaces for everyone around me. I've made it intentional for people to feel seen, heard, and appreciated. But it's okay for me to prioritize making safe space just for me, and nobody else. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.